In respect of the water and sanitation, responding to your question, we see quite a number of opportunities. I'll begin with the opportunities. We see that water has been relatively a green field. There are not that many PPPs. Predominantly, you get a lot of PPPs in the Francophone countries in Africa, and less in the other parts of Africa. We see that as an opportunity because then you can go in and begin new partnerships with the private sector and the public sector. Now, there are a number of challenges that we see. The understanding of PPPs, particularly for the water sector, is not that very good. The second challenge is that we know that the returns on investments in water are not as fast and as high as in the other sectors, for example, telecoms, energy. But we see that there is an opportunity, particularly now emerging in the sanitation sector, where there are more products coming from treating wastewater. We see a lot of interest coming from the private sector with new innovations in technology to try and increase the rate of returns from investing in sanitation. So that's an opportunity. Now, there is another challenge, the readiness of the sector, particularly the public sector, to partner with the private sector. Many a times, there are no bankable projects. There are no studies that have been prepared. The public sector is not ready. And so as African Development Bank, we are trying to work with the public sector, with the countries in Africa, to try and get them ready to say, look, you cannot, the government cannot afford to finance the investment gap in infrastructure for water. And therefore, there is need to partner with the private sector. There is need to bring in the efficiencies from the private sector and the resources that are so much needed so that that gap could be filled and people have access to good and safe water and sanitation services. I'm very excited with this event. This is the first time that I'm participating, and what caught my attention immediately was the composition of the participants. We have participants from the private sector, we have participants from the sponsors, the financiers, the financing institutions, we have participants from government and government at various levels, ministries of finance, PPP units, sector ministries. We also have people from the operators, the utilities themselves. We also have people, consultants that are doing advisory services. And I think that composition is very rich, because a learning event like this, to me, is enriched by the number of people, by the resources that are present, because you are getting the views and the challenges from the different perspectives. So for us at the African Development Bank, participating in such an event is very, very important because we're listening from all the different parties. The other part that I find very useful is the sharing of experiences. The various deals that have been struck, the processes that have been followed, how they have accelerated the processes, and the innovations that are coming up in trying to promote PPPs on the continent of Africa. I certainly see that Africa PPP is playing quite some big role in trying to help promote and build PPP in the infrastructure, particularly water, energy and transport on the continent. Some of the key outcomes from the conference, I think the partnerships that have been built, we definitely have met quite a number of key institutions and people that we are going to follow up and build something out of that. I'm sure next time we'll be here to come and give testimonies of what has come out of those partnerships. I think that's very, very critical. to the innovations, the sharing of the innovations in structuring PPPs. PPP arrangements are not a one-size-fits-all. There are various tweaks, and the sharing of those experiences in terms of how other countries have made it work. Other countries then can pick it up and see that, okay, this can work, this can result into a partnership that will build infrastructure on the continent. I think the other aspect that was also very good is the gracing by the mayor herself, sharing the lessons from Cape Town, having had the case of the 0 day have been so publicized. We feel that getting from the mayor her perspective and how they have addressed the challenges definitely does give that political impetus in saying that, she pronounced that PPP has a place. PPP is the way to go. Governments need to give the environment, need to secure the environment necessary for the private sector to flourish and to support governments in providing infrastructure. I think these are some of the takeaways for me from this conference.